All right, so it hasn't been an update for a very long time, but the decals are done and they turned out really good. There's some flaw on one place on the back box. I'm gonna show you later on. Right now, I am putting in the ground strap in the cabinet, and I'm gonna go on with the rest of the interior inside the cabinet, and that's kind of what we are right now. I don't have the bolts for the legs. For some reason I was stupid enough not to order the extra long ones, so now I'm kind of screwed when I have the distancer between. I need the distancer between the legs, so I need the extra long leg bolts. So the side rails are also on the cabinet, and it turned out really good, I think. I don't know if you guys can see when it comes to the light inside here, but I think cabinet turns out really good. I'm really satisfied with that. And now it's kind of hard to see, but you're gonna see it later on. The back box turned out really good, and maybe not really good because I don't know if it shows on camera, but this dent here, it wasn't actually the underwork that was poorly done. There was some crap falling over this area when we just in that moment when we put on the decals on this. It's really a shame, really a shame. So this side is the best one. Yeah, and then I have bought some new legs for, of course, for this kind of restoration you need new legs, and it's gonna be great. So I made the decision not to show you guys too much of the underwork and so on, because I don't want you guys to see how we cheated along. Maybe we did not, but it's such a boring work. I didn't want to shoot videos of it. So, but you're gonna come along for the rest of the ride. I promise you that, especially when it comes to the electronics and the stuff coming, the playfield, of course, the assembly of the playfield later on. All right, so this is kind of where we are right now. I've put in the boards into the game and also done some work inside the lower cabinet. I put up these wire holders. They are a little bit of everywhere inside the lower cabinet. And here they are as well, as you can see. I think it turned out really well. So right now I am up to the wiring in the lower cabinet, and as you have seen in previous videos, they've done some Mickey Mouse wiring on this wire harness here. As you can see, well, we can start off in this end, and this is something that's very common. It's very common that you see this crispy stuff here, and then they try to bypass it with this kind of bullshit here. So instead of using a shrink tube and patch this, they are using this kind of components that I can't figure out the English word for in this moment of time, but it's got to go, and it's already gone in the trash where it belongs. So there's going to be a shrink tube here, and I'm going to extend a wire over to this by me newly put in connector, shiny fresh. And of course the problem is also in the other end with the transformer here. It's a little bit dark here. I know I have showed you guys this earlier, but yeah, they have done this crap over here too, trying to bypass this problem that they had. You can see here it's burned, so this gotta go as well. So that's what's up right now. Still, oh, by the way, I still have a lot of cleaning to do on the playfield parts, the rails, and what have you. It's a lot of stuff here. I haven't gone through it. What I have gone through though is the most assemblies from underneath the playfield has been. It's not a high-end restoration, but I've replaced all the coil sleeves and cleaned each and every assembly. So these two boxes are full of them. It's nice to have that done already, because it's really a pain in the to do that shit. So it's done, and it's waiting for the playfield to be clear coated by my friend. So with that being said, I'm going to continue to do this work, fix this wire stuff here. So be right back. All right, so I've done some more wiring into this bottom cabinet. As you can see, the transformer are now in place, and done some reconnecting. No, not reconnecting. That sounded stupid. I repinned these connectors and put in new connectors. And also I've done some rewiring, because there was electrical tape and a lot of it down here. And it was around the 5-volt circuit going to the transformer, as it always is when I see that kind of stuff. And as I mentioned in earlier in this series, somebody had put electrical tape around the wires that were totally burnt to a crisp down to the start of this circuit going up to the power driver board, the 5-volt circuits, which is actually about 9 volts AC, being transformed into regulated into 5 volts on this power driver board. And up here, I've done some rewiring. They had put some kind of electrical white tape here down to this connector J101, I believe it is, yes. And looks a little bit better now. Maybe it's not cosmetically 100%, but a little bit more quality to it with shrink tubing on the wires. So what I've done now is to test out all the voltages, the DC voltages coming out of this power driver board. It all looks great, except for maybe the 18 volts for the lamp circuit goes up as high as 19.5, but I think it's okay still. I worked a lot of these boards before in this test bench here, and normally I would say I rarely see them exceed about 18 volts to be exact, but this is really the first time I see about 19.5. But as I said, I hope it's not too high, so I'll go on that and we will take it from there. So next step here would be to put in the ribbon cable going through all these boards, and my main goal is for tonight is to put in the display and check that out and boot up the MPU board. And I have actually bought a Pin2 DMD display, DMD, for this game, because I think it's really appropriate to do that. It's such a fine restoration, I think, and would be a shame not to have a color DMD inside it. I'm not against the original DMDs. I'm just thinking this could be a really cool thing to have in this game. All right, so I've made some progress here. I put in the light board. I don't know what it's called in English, to be honest. This, I call it light board, and I'm gonna go for incandescent bulbs. I just think it's kind of a waste of money to put the LEDs here as well. I don't think, well, it's a really shiny appearance, of course, but I don't really think it's worth the money, so I'm gonna go with this, and I think it turned out really good. I cleaned this board up. It looked like crap before. It has this traditional burning stains here from bulbs being turned on for years and years, and they're all gone now, so I'm really satisfied. There's actually it's a sticker here with something on it. I don't remember. High voltage, I think. I'm gonna do something good with that, make a new one, make it look somehow better. I mean, I can't put this old one back, it looks like shit. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. Not much news inside here. I'm gonna start with the coin door and paint it and make it much better than it is right now. And the fishing handle, or whatever it's called, it's gonna go. I'm gonna make it with new shiny chrome, so that's gonna turn out great, I think. All in all, when you do a game restoration like this, you just can't put in the old handle the way it looks, because it looks really bad. Makes the whole game looks funny. So let's move on with this work. All right, so it's time for the coin door, and I already removed this frame here. So now it's time for the disassembly of what's behind the coin door. And right now I'm desoldering all the wires to the coin slot switches here, and then eventually the rest will come off for cleaning. All right, so the coin door has been painted and reassembled. Let me shine a light on this for you. I'm pretty satisfied. It's a little bit glossy at some spots, but I think it's over and all, I'm really think it turned out great. And this Fisher handle over here, I sandblasted it, and now it's been just recently back from being re-chromed. So pretty satisfied with that. That's how it went. And now I'm reassembling this lock assembly for the lockdown bar here. And I'm trying to, later on tonight, if I have the time, I will reconnect this handle, the fishing handle as well. I have a little problem, and that's I'm lacking one of these assemblies for the opto flipper board here. They're kind of tricky to get hold of as far as I'm researched about it. It's really problematic. So you can actually buy this one, this flexible plate, and of course the board itself, but the holder between them, I haven't found it on the internet for sale so far, but I guess they're out there, and I guess you can also obtain used ones. I'm going to put out some advertisements in the local Swedish flipper pinball groups that I want to buy one of these, because when I got the game, There was of course this one, but on this side there was some kind of shitty adapter to use like a standard old blade switch, which I of course don't want to have on that side. So that was going on here tonight. So right on, back to work. All right, so we are back on the fishtail project, and I'm sorry, but I left you guys out for a very long time during this restoration, and I just simply haven't had the time to record, or well, actually I maybe had, but I kind of forgot, and this is where we are right now. I have, for the most part, assembled the underside of the, reassembled, I should say, the underside of the playfield. And I was a little bit skeptic about the lamp sockets for the GI, and they were a bit, or I would say very rusty on some occasions. And so I cleaned them with a wire brush, and it turned out really good. And I thought to myself, how the heck can I save some time and my back to not be able to work in this with the playfield in the game and removing lamp sockets. We all know how funny that is to replace lamp sockets in the pinball machine with the playfield in the pinball machine. So I thought to myself, why not hook it up to my my WPC test bench here? So that's what I did, and gotta say it turned out really good. So it's time to start reassembling the upper side of the playfield, and we go from there.